Welcome to Game Crunch, your weekly video game podcast. My name is Mike Anastasia, and with me today we have Brandon.
Hello.
And Nick.
Hello.
And
you can't do it like I can, Nick. You go.
I had to do it up tempo to kind of.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Hello.
And no Tom this week, so who cares? Anyways.
Who cares?
Who cares? We got him for 100. We're happy. So he wanted a week off, like usual. And anyway, so lots of fun things to talk about, lots of news. We're going to talk a little bit about the Splatoon stuff that's going on and ongoing. And a bunch of stuff for E3 is getting locked in. So we got that. Breaking news on stuff right before E3. It's like the E3 scramble week right now, where everyone's trying to get all their shit news out before the big show. So, yeah, we got a lot to talk about. You guys ready to get started?
Yeah, let's do this.
Okay. So I'll go first, I guess, because I'm feeling it. So, final thoughts on Donkey Kong 64? Fuck that game.
All right, next game.
That's all that really needs to be said. I did say there'd be like some grand end to it. I'm finished with it. I'm done. 101%ed it too. So it is just in the oven. It is done. I never have to go back to it again, and that's good enough. Even though the rest of the game was still shit. So, and after that, I decided to move on to Baten Kaitos Origins. I don't know why. I was possessed to play this game again all of a sudden. We've talked about this before. Not as something we've played, but just something we oft mentioned. I think Tom owns this game and hasn't played it. Did any of you guys play any of the games in this series? There's two, but
I have not.
Are you familiar with them?
No, I've never heard of.
Is this the card game thing or not?
Yes.
No. Oh, it is?
Yeah,
okay.
This is the card game.
I have played this then, but only once and only very briefly.
So, this is the second one. It is basically, Baten Kaitos Origins is a prequel to the original GameCube game. It is a bit different than the first one. They increased the speed of the game versus the original one. Nintendo actually localized this one. I think this was just prior to the acquisition of most of Monolith Soft for Nintendo. So Nintendo handled the localization for this game. So you have a huge increase in quality of localization. I remember this being the first game I ever remember thinking, this is a great localization. Because the first one was that bad that when you actually hear the quality improvement on it, you're just like, wow, they did a really good job. They have decent voice actors. The first game had goofy voice actors, and it was odd, but it's a really cool world. It's like I said, everything's card based, so even the items you pick up, you trap them in. They're called magnets. The cards are. So you trap them in magnets. So things you might need for quests, they'll be like, "Oh, can you get me an apple or some shit?" And you're like, "Oh, okay." And you go up and find an apple and you trap it in a card and then you bring it back.
Now you get me an apple, bitch.
Yeah. Although, so in this one, the first game had a pretty complicated battle system. When I say it was overly complicated. Battles would take a very long time. They'd be complicated. I remember a couple times in the first game where you go into a boss battle and you're fighting this guy for an hour, and then you just get a shit draw of cards all of a sudden, and then you're fucked and then you lose. And you're just oh, this sucks. And everyone had their own deck in the first game. Each of the playable characters did, all 6 of them. So your cards were spread out between them. So that was frustrating. But this game, they made one deck that's shared in between everyone. And instead of all these different ways to get combos, in this one they made it very simple. It's all by numbers, and everything's played in from lowest to highest number. So you could do a combo by doing all the items are 0. So that would be your swords and your shields, armor stuff. Those will be 0. So you play those at the beginning of the combo, and then you have 1 is weak attack, 2 is medium attack, 3 is heavy attack, and then 4, 5, 6 plus. Those are all your high level special attacks. And there's a system in place. You have to have a certain amount of, I don't know what they call the bar. But you have to get enough acclamation of points to be able to use that special attacks. And I don't know, it's just got this great feeling because the announcer will be level 1, and then you can play like your level 1 card, level 2, and then you can play your level 2 card. So like it gets really dramatic, especially when it's like level 5, like it starts like screaming as it gets like higher.
Holy shit!
So like it almost has like an arcade feeling, because even when you start the battle, it'll be like fight, and that'll be like excellent when you like win. I don't know. It's a good time. It's got a really good story. The first game had like an interesting story too. Like basically, in both games, you're set in a universe where something happened to the Earth long ago, and it was like the Earth is below. You're like on these islands. Below you is the Taintclouds. The Taintclouds. That's what they're called.
Wait, they're really called that? Like that's not you being an idiot?
No, that's not being an idiot, asshole, anything. They're the Taintclouds. You cannot go. You don't want to go into the Taintclouds because it's poisonous. So.
Well.
Yeah. So don't go into the taint.
Much like an actual one, it's very poisonous. I understand.
Yes. So yeah, don't go in the Taintclouds. And so yeah, you're in these.
Can the episode name for this episode please be Taintclouds?
Taintclouds.
Just no context, so people have to click it, and they're like, "What the fuck?" I have to know.
So yeah, so like you're up there on these islands, and they all have like their own theme. Like there's like Diadem, which is like this cloud. Like it's got all these clouds spewing everywhere, and there's a Niue. I love some of the names of these. Niue has like these like rainbows, like rainbow colony, and then there's like the capital one, which I don't remember its name, but it's like a very kind of steampunky like thing, and that's where the Emperor is like set out of. But I don't know. I love this game. I think a lot of the reason I went back to this is because I just finished Xenoblade, and this was basically the RPG they did before Xenoblade, although they did Disaster Day of Crisis in the middle, but that's not really an RPG. So, yeah, so I haven't played this since it came out, and I was really tempted to for a while, just because, like I said, I really did enjoy the story, and like the battle system is like very exciting. So I decided to go back to it. I'm not super far into it right now. Like I'll probably be playing this for a few weeks, to be honest, but I probably won't have too much to say on it between now and then. It's, like I said, it's a great RPG if you're looking for that kind of stuff. I really like the world that they crafted. Like, I think it's a great world. It's a little hard to go back to graphically because of the SD-ness of it. But, I mean, that doesn't really bug me too much. They use pre-rendered backgrounds, but it just kind of looks choppy. Like, I've definitely seen, like, better looking GameCube games. Like, they just kind of have they're clearly not very good at their character models. Like, I don't know. It's not bad, but it's not great. I don't know how to explain it very well. But it's definitely no Donkey Kong 64. So
I got you. That's always a plus.
Yeah, exactly. It's a solid GameCube game. And sorry, Europeans, I don't believe this game actually ever came out there, which is unfortunate because, like I said, the first game was interesting, but the second game just took everything that was great about the first game, made it like 1,000 times better, had better voice acting. They just like went all out into this and made like just this great love letter to this universe, and it's a lot of fun. I'm really enjoying going back and playing it, and I hope other people will try it at some point too. You don't get a lot of like really fun card-based games. And,
no,
like I said, this one is like its pace is just so fast that it's like you're really trying to keep up. Like it's. I've had a couple of moments where I've fucked up because like I won't be paying attention right away, and like a timer will run out, and someone will lose their turn. I'll be like, damn it. So yeah, it's great. Do you guys have any questions on this? Like just so I can explain it better.
I mean, no, not really. I mean, I like I said, I've never even heard of it, and usually card-based games aren't my like preferred type. Like I've played a few. I've played, if you can consider Rechain of Memories a card-based game, like it's a really weird game. Obviously,
I'd say if you consider Baten Kaitos one, then Chain of Memories is as well.
Yeah, like I've played that. I've played like whatever the Yu-Gi-Oh game was for the fucking PS1 that was cards. But I mean, I guess I've never even heard of it. Like you said, there's other ones besides just this one.
Yeah, there's two. They're both GameCube exclusive.
I've never heard. Let me Google the cover.
I think it's. Yeah, like Baten Kaitos Origins was one of those games. This one came out literally. It may have been one of the last GameCube games. I think it actually definitely was the last GameCube game published by Nintendo before they went on to the Wii. Well, actually, no. I mean, I can't say that for sure because obviously Twilight Princess came out after it. But this would be like this would be like one of the this was the swan song, like the last big hurrah for them. And the first one was published by Namco, and it was like, it has like, it's Baten Kaitos, and it's got like the longest subtitle. It's like the endless ocean, like Wings of the Heart.
Baten Kaitos, Eternal Wings in the Lost Ocean.
Yeah,
How you lose an entire ocean?
It's, honestly, I wish I could go into spoilers for it because, like, there's a couple. I have a friend who played through this game with me as well, and like, there's just one joke that we kind of come back to, like, whenever we talk about this game, just kind of how you lost the ocean. Like, it's like, okay, so that's where the ocean's been the whole time, really, you assholes. So
fantastic.
Yeah, but it's really, like I said, they built a really cool world. There was a rumor going around for a while that they're going to make a DS version of this game, like, not like specifically, but just another game in the universe. And actually, I think even now with the Wii U, just to have like the touch controls for it, like this could actually be like a really cool like game that could use those kind of things. So I think if Monolith Soft was going to go back to like one of their series, I think this would be a cool one to go back to. I also think too, just in terms of like uniqueness of the characters, I'm not quite sure where the rights fell with the whole Nintendo acquisition and everything, but I also think that this would be like the characters in this game would be really unique to the like something like Smash Brothers. Like they could add something really cool in there. And I do really like, at least for the main characters, like the sub characters in this game, whatever. But the main characters like Sagi, Gilo, and Millie, like they just have like this great dynamic between them. Like Gilo is like double voice acted. Like it has a man and woman voice actor that read all the lines at the same time.
Oh, okay.
So it's got like a really interesting sound to it. It's like very like high pitched woman and like very deep voiced man at the same time. And she just it, I don't know what it is. Like it's like a robot. It's like some sort of like they call it a paramachina, but then they say it's not. But it's kind of like some robot that they found in the ground. That's at least as far as you know in the beginning of the game, without spoilers, they don't really know why she's there or he's there. So it's just kind of ambiguous, but it's the voice acting is just so fun. Like the dialogue's just so great. Like she just makes like the one girl's like, oh, I'm like the one girl in your party. She's like, I'm a sheltered girl. I just want to explore the world and follow along with you guys. And
oh my god,
Gilo's like, why are you following us, you wench? Like she says she wants wench a lot, and I love it. Why are you following us, you wench? What kind of shelter did you live in? A bomb shelter? Like, you came up and destroyed those guards like nothing. Like, don't tell us you're like this weak, defenseless person. And she threatens to eat a lot of people all the time. So, it's really, like I said, it's a lot of fun. I do recommend it. I don't know where they're sitting at, like, price-wise or anything, but I think this is one of those games that would be great to see come back on like a virtual console service if they ever do, because
I think this is one of the rarer GameCube games, if I'm not mistaken. So it might be kind of hard.
Origins definitely is. Origins is definitely pretty rare. I don't believe the first one is as much, but like I said, Origins was one of those ones, came out at the very end of like the lifespan of the system, and so it is kind of hard to find as far as I know. And like I said, they never released it in Europe, so they didn't get to enjoy it, so that's a disappointment. But yeah, definitely worth checking out. Both games, I'd say for sure, but more so the second
They're in
one.
the $20 to $30 range, but if you want it, but some. Actually, hold on, I might be wrong, because people might just be saying like $33 with $40 shipping and handling, because people do that shit now.
I know.
No, Origins is about $36, and it looks like the other one is about $25, so it's not bad at all, actually.
No, not really. So, yeah, I definitely recommend checking it out, especially if you like say, Xenoblade. Like, I know they're different games, play-wise, but you just get a lot of that mastercraft storytelling, I think is probably the best way to put it. And like I said, the universe that they created is just, it's so unique. Like, it's hard to describe. Like, every island has its own identity, and like, it's so cool just to go to, like I said, and I love saying Anue. Like, it's just
Anue.
It's like my favorite island because of that name. So, I mean, that one, like I said, it's the Rainbow Island. It's kind of got like a Hawaiian-ish theme to it, but not like super. And they have like I said, there's magic and madness and drama and intrigue and assassinations and all sorts of fun stuff. So it really starts out with a bang and it keeps on going. Like, in both games, there's just crazy twists all over the place that just take the story in just radical directions. So, listen, I do recommend it a lot. I wish more people would play it. And especially, like you, Nick, for example, saying that, you don't really know where you fall in, like, the card game spectrum. I'm not a huge fan of them either, to be fair, but this one it's special. So, I think this one is more of my exception than the other one. Like I said, the first game's a little bit harder to get into, but second game's
I think I only played the first one, because the first one, I remember, like, after playing for, like, 30 minutes, I was just kind of like, the fuck am I doing?
Yeah, the first one, like, it kind of stumbles a bit in the beginning. Like, you have a hard time figuring out what's going on, and it starts off slow, and then, like, I think you get into a pretty nasty boss battle fairly early on, if I remember. And there's one, I don't remember if it's in this game, but I think it's the first one. There's a spot where, like, you switch the discs, because it's a 2-disc game, and when you get to the second disc, like, the first thing that's there is just the most fucking nasty-ass boss battle that you've come to at any point in the game. I'm pretty sure it's the first game that does this. But you're stuck there. You can't leave. So, some people actually get, like, literally just fucked when they get to that point. Because you're stuck. You can't leave. There's nothing you can do. You can't go and get more cards. You're just... The game, like, saved when you switch the discs, and now you're stuck with what you set into motion. So... That does suck, but I think it's the first game that does that. Well, we'll find out. I'll report back when I switch discs and see where I end up. But yeah, that was pretty nasty. I do remember that. And like I said, the story's just ridiculous. So, all right. Do you guys have any other questions on Baten Kaitos?
No, I might check it out. Nope. But no, I'm good.
Yeah, might check it out means maybe you'll add it to your collection and never look at it again.
Exactly.
Basically.
So. Yeah, it's a good length game, too. So, like I said, I'll be playing for a while. My last playthrough, I put in, like, 50-some hours into it. I think I'm only, like, 12 or so into it right now. So, all right. So, we'll talk about Splatoon. Says, I did actually put, like, a little segment of what we talked about with Splatoon into last week's episode. So that is there, but I figured it definitely needs, like, a full talking on here. Because we had the Splatoon test event, like... last weekend. There's actually another 1 hour section coming up on Saturday this week. So after the podcast comes out.
Oh shit, that sounds awesome. I wish I could play it.
You probably could. I think it's definitely like a reasonable time for us. I don't remember. It's in the afternoon/evening time.
Obviously.
Like it might be like 7.
Oh, then I might be able to play it before I leave.
Yeah, exactly. That's not too bad at all. So, yeah, so Splatoon test event. So it was pretty fun. They put up three 1-hour sections to play it last Saturday-ish. And they let you basically try out each of the main weapons, a couple different maps. You were really locked only into just the normal kind of modes.
I believe there was 4 maps.
Was there 4 maps?
Yeah.
I don't remember exactly.
I played almost all of them. I missed the third one because I woke up too late. But I played the first 2 test events, which were fun as hell. And you know what? I didn't run into any lag, did you?
I did not, although I did have one issue, and I was thinking about it today. I actually ran into an issue where the game started with a full match, and then 2 people on my team did lag out and drop. But the unfortunate thing is, they never replaced them. Ooh. And they didn't stop the match. So it ended up becoming like a 2 versus 4 match, which was kind of shitty. So,
kind of impossible, too.
Yeah, exactly.
It seems pretty impossible to do 2v4 when it's, cover the most ground.
Yeah, exactly. Like, this game, we talked about it a bit last week, too, I know, but, the thing that's interesting about this game is it's a shooter, but its main goal is not to, kill everyone. You can. Yeah. You can do that if you want to, but at the end of the day, your goal is to get the most ground cover. So, if your whole team is just going around and just all they do is waste their time killing everyone, there might just be someone that's running around in the back with a paint roller, just getting up all this extra space that no one's going for. So it creates an interesting mechanic where you don't really have to be the best shooter game player to do well in this game.
I feel that that's a valid point, but I feel also it does help because
I'm not saying it doesn't help.
We had the conversation last week where we were talking about how it's not about all the most kills and that kind of stuff, but the more you're killing the other team, the less they're able to put down paint. So, that's what I brought up to that, opinion that you brought up last week.
You do, but
and I still feel that same way.
You still have to have someone on your team that's goal is to go and
oh yeah, definitely. But that's the paint roller guy. He can go do whatever the fuck he wants.
And the other thing we talked about too, this game is fairly well balanced between the weapons. And I think if you have any single team that's made up of all the same weapon, you're screwed. Which kind of sucks because at least in the demo, there was no way to just kind of change your item on the fly. You were just stuck with whatever you locked into before you went into it.
Actually, I think there was a button. Oh, hold on a second.
No, you had to back all the way.
No, you're right. Yeah. I was thinking of something else. My mistake. Yeah. I mean,
because in between matches, it sends you into that mini game.
Yeah.
So, I wish there was a way to just be like, hey, I'm done with the paint roller, give me this instead. That'd be great, but it didn't really give you that option, which is... I
was getting the two, mixed up because I was also playing, the multiplayer for The Last of Us. Around the same time as I was playing that, and, that allows you to
I can see how you get Splatoon and Last of Us mixed
up. No, I just mean, I was getting the gameplay mechanics of being able to change out guns after dying mixed up. That's what I was getting mixed up.
Mm-hmm. So
paint roller is pretty OP in Last of Us as well.
Yeah, definitely.
I think they should add that into Last of Us. That'd be great.
I actually saw something kind of cool today, and it's kind of bad because it makes me want to buy Splatoon day one because of this a little bit. I'm not sure if your local targets are doing this, but apparently, when you buy Splatoon day one at Target, you get a super soaker.
Oh, I did hear about that today too.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I gotta go check out.
And it looks like the guns in Splatoon too. My only concern is I'm gonna go and pick up the game, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you know how there's the really sizable super soakers, and then there's the little pistol ones.
You know it's gonna be a fucking pistol one.
I feel like I'm gonna go there, and it's gonna be one that holds a shot glass of water. And I'm gonna be like, well, this was worth
10 cents.
Yeah, this was worth 10 cents.
Yeah, that's how it's gonna be. But it's kind of I feel like those things are more for the novelty, if anything, at the end of the day. So yeah, I don't know. I had a lot of fun with the Splatoon demo. I ended up staying up really late to play it. I ended up playing the whole hour, and I didn't even plan to do that. So that was a lot of fun. I don't remember. Do we have any other major thoughts on it? I did like the mini game in between matches. It's cool. There's other ones to unlock.
After 1 hour of playing the first test, I decided I'm going to buy this. So it really sold me. Mm-hmm. This demo, it was a fucking beta. This beta, which, by the way, for Nintendo's first beta, I say again with little quotes, they did a damn good job. They did a damn good job handling it.
Yeah, I think it was put together pretty well. Actually, the other thing that I heard, just kind of off the cuff, is that the single player for the game is actually kind of decent. It's not an afterthought like a lot of people thought it would be. So that is pretty nice. And I think that is good because it helps justify the package a bit more. Because even for myself, as much as I love, the concept of this game and stuff like Mario Kart and stuff like Smash Brothers, it's the single player content, more so for me that I don't like a game that's multiplayer only. I don't care.
I understand that.
Yeah, I don't care if the single player is stupid, but just give me something to do on my own. And from what it sounds like, it's kind of fun. So that does make the game a bit more appealing for me. I honestly, I still haven't put my pre-order in for this yet, but I feel like I'm locked into it because I have already pre-ordered the amiibos. So
yeah. I don't have the amiibos, but I might have to get them at some point now, without a doubt.
Yeah, and it seems like, I don't know, it seems like it adds enough to make it worthwhile, but not enough to...
Well, they told you, it gives you special stages also.
Yeah,
when you play through them, you get special armor and stuff like that, so that was kind of cool.
Something like 15 missions per amiibo, I think is what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah, and you're right, you get those. I think it also helps unlock the mini-games, in between mini-games faster, the ones you play while you're waiting for matches. I think they said. I'm trying to remember, I know there was something about that tied to the amiibos. So, I really want to play the rhythm game one, because that one, I think, was the most appealing.
Me too, it looks cool. I want to play it.
Yeah, so, that will be fun. I'm sure Splatoon's a game we'll be coming back to quite a bit between now and E3.
The main thing I thought about Splatoon when I played the beta for it was, if Nintendo wanted to, they could make this a very competitive game, like a legit competitive game, because it's really well done, like really, really well done, especially for a first try at like a shooter of some type. Like, yeah, they could pull a Smash Brothers with it. They're not going to, but they could.
Nothing's going to happen with it until August when they release the
allow you to have teams. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, like the actual like matchmaking thing, because otherwise the teams are just randomized. And I think we talked about it a bit last week too, like the lack of voice chat. Like, at least for the way the game is built right now, like I really don't mind the lack of voice chat because you're just playing with random people. You really don't have any.
I feel like you can do your own thing, but since you also can have like friends join you and that sort of thing, I feel like voice chat would be good, even if it is just an option for like when chatting with friends.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying like it's a bad thing. Like I feel like my stance on this is I wish that they had the option for people who want it, even though I would never use it. Like even when we play Mario Kart Online, we never use that shitty ass chat that they have on there in between the lobbies. We'll play on Skype like we're doing it. So It's not like, I mean, if we're gonna go in and do like a Splatoon team, I don't think we're gonna be like, oh yeah, let's use the shitty ass built-in Wii U one when we can use our phones and Skype instead.
Yeah, no, like when I first made the switch from like 360 to PS3, and PS3 had no like party chat system, I mainly used Skype, so it's really nothing new to me.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I don't have anything else to add on Splatoon unless you do, Brandon.
It's fantastic. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, it's fantastic. And we'll definitely be talking about it probably at least in 2 weeks when it comes out. So, alright, that wraps up my stuff. Brandon, do you want to jump in yours since we were both talking about Splatoon, or do you want Nick to go?
I'm going to play off Nick, so Nick can go. Because Nick and I have actually played the same game this week as well.
Yes, we have. Well, I'll talk about the first game that I actually finished.
Okay.
I completed
the first
Shovel
game
Knight.
You've ever finished?
Yeah, it's the first game ever. I've never played a game completely. No, I finished off Shovel Knight last week or so. It's a fun game. It's exactly everything I wanted it to be. The ending kind of was predictable, but other than that, I mean, it's not really a big
DLC.
complaint. Yeah, no, I'm actually really excited for the free DLC coming out for it. My only other disappointment is I played the entire game. Now, mind you, I played it for PS4, and Kratos is a exclusive like instance
boss battle.
For PS4.
That's the same way the Battletoads are for Xbox One.
Yeah, and if
there's not that much to it, honestly.
Well, there's not, but if you're familiar with the game, when you play the game, there's random wanderers who pop up on the map. Same way in the style of Super Mario, like from Super Nintendo. And they pop up, you go fight them, whatever. He never popped up for me once. And apparently there's like a specific thing you have to do. Like there's like a sequence of events. Trigger him. I'm like, that's kind of stupid. So I was like, fuck it. I don't really care that much. So but it was a fun game. It was a good game. So I'm happy with it. Other than that, I played Project Cars for a little bit. I'm still doing the shifted kart circuits. I finished 2 of them. And the first race was kind of like a learning curve, because I'm used to a lot more arcadey feeling racers like Forza and shit, even Mario Kart. But, so I did my first race, kind of fell off. But I was like, I'm using a keyboard, so I downloaded the DualShock
the D4
drivers,
thing?
Which, Jesus Christ, that tool is amazing. I was so shocked at how easy it was to freaking just plug my controller in and go. But,
Did you change the color? I totally changed the color. It was the first thing I did.
I left the color. I just left it.
I was like, I want my color to be bright pink. Oh god, the entire room is bright pink now.
I've had little to no issues like with the game. I've had some instances where I have stuttering, and I've had, I restart the race.
What setting are you playing at?
Like graphical settings?
Yeah.
Like as high as I can go.
Okay.
Now, that being said, I don't know about you, but the graphics are a little underwhelming for what I thought I was gonna get.
Did you turn on SMAA? Because SMAA fucking just blows it out of the water.
SMAA? Or is that in the option setting? I'll have to see, because the graphics look okay the way they are. Like they're all right, but I'm like, this doesn't look lifelike whatsoever. Like the cars when you go like in your garage and you can like go through the cars themselves look wonderful. But like when I'm playing the game, it doesn't like Forza 3 looks better than Project Cars on my computer currently, and I have a fairly decent graphics card. I have an NVIDIA GTX 760.
That's what I have. So you and I are sitting at the same thing.
Yeah. I've heard that the stuttering issues come from not updating your drivers, but I know it's a smart idea not to update drivers on NVIDIA cards.
That is 110% wrong. I have the latest driver, and I still have the stuttering. I had to turn the third option bar, which you have to go past the performance options into like other options, and there's like a stuttering like offset, and I had to turn it to 4 to make it actually not stutter anymore. So
all right, I'll have to do
try
that
also.
We have the same card, so
yeah, exactly.
I did turn on the high def grass. I love how there was a setting for high def grass, but I was like, every game I've played so far, current gen, I'm like, wait a minute, I have to look at the grass. I got so pissed off like last gen when I look at the grass and it's like a thin, just kind of like angled piece of like bullshit. I'm like, what the fuck
it's
is
just
this?
That one JPEG, and you're like,
yeah, like you look down and you can see like the hexagons that they made with the grass. I'm like, you can do better. But I'll have to try out SMA because other than that, but like graphics aside, the game I think is really fun.
Want to try out SMA? It makes it look very pretty, but it also makes it run at about 28 frames. So there's that.
Well, 28 frames on your computer.
We have the same thing. Do you have an i7 or an i5? I
have an AMD A Series A10 Black Edition.
Okay, then.
Yeah.
You should be fine.
8-core APU.
Yeah, you should be
fine. Yeah, no, I should be okay. And 16 gigs of Corsair Vengeance. So, I should be okay. So, I'm really enjoying it. I'm probably going to play more. I haven't played more recently because when did it come out? Last week or the week before?
Last week.
I've been busy doing shit.
So, I've actually played this game as well, and we both have two varying opinions on this game. I think I finally formed mine. I really do.
I was you have no idea. I'm hanging out with my friend. We went to AC Comic-Con, and I just see a message from Brandon just bashing Project Cars. I'm like, shut the fuck up right now.
I'll tell you, and I'll say the exact same thing I said earlier. It feels like there's no point to it. All of the like career shit, it feels like there's literally no point to it because there's no like. They tell you you're getting better. You get emails from people and sponsors and all that good stuff. But who fucking cares when you already have literally everything at the touch of a button unlocked? So you can race anything you want already. So it's like, what's the point of continuing this career? I don't get anything for it. I can't buy and own and keep these cars forever. I just can be like, oh, I already have that car. Let's tweak it and tune it anyway. So what's the fucking point? Yes.
Fun is the point, and playing
it's
the game
not fun, though. It's not. Like, playing a go-kart season race that takes 45 minutes and then having to play another one back-to-back before you can actually even race the cars and fucking Project Cars is stupid. I shouldn't have to wait 2 hours to race a car in a game that has car in the goddamn name. That's dumb. That's really dumb.
I don't really think so. I mean, fuck, my first experience with Gran Turismo, I think it was GT5 I bought. Never bought it again because it's too much simulator for me. But like, they throw you into the game, they give you a fucking, here, have a Citroen, it goes 8 miles an hour top speed, good luck. Like,
guess what? That was a car.
But it's a Citroen. It's barely a car.
I know,
in my opinion.
Go-karts?
It's fun. Go-karts are actually a serious thing. Like, a lot of, like, drivers will do, like, shifter karts first.
They're so weird. And, like, okay, and then I went and played an actual car race, and the second you're able to actually race in cars, it's just, like, super overwhelming. Like, very, very, very overwhelming, because you're not prepared for it, because they've prepared you for everything with the shifter karts. You're not prepared for when you actually get behind the wheel of a car in this game, because they do react very differently, and I am a fan of that, but at the same time...
You're going from a squirrely shifter cart
I understand,
that has a top torque of like 8,000 to maybe like a BMW M3 with, you know, all this power, and it can't handle turns. I mean, it seems like... I mean, how many... Besides Project Cars, how many racing games have you played?
A shit ton. Like
a shit ton?
Yes.
Because I've also played a shit ton. I'm having no issue.
Can you point me to a specific game that you think Project Cars is like? Because I can't think of a single one.
The way I'm describing Project Cars to people, I'm saying it has the complexity of a Gran Turismo, but the driving feel of almost like a Forza.
It does not have the driving feel of Forza. This has not the driving feel of Forza. I
think it does.
love Forza. I've played Forza since the original game. The only Forza I haven't played is the one on Xbox One currently, because I don't have an Xbox One.
The controls are a little bit tighter than a Forza game, but that's the closest thing I can honestly.
I think
my racing games have been Forza, Need for Speed. Actually, yeah, just probably mainly Need for Speed.
I think the word you're looking for is not tighter, but shittier. I think that's the word you're looking for.
I have no problems with the controls in the game.
Okay, let's talk about the AI. The AI is fucking garbage. Fuck the AI. The AI is stupid.
What do you mean? Oh, like the other drivers?
Yeah, the other drivers. You get bumped and you lose your entire race fucking record because the AI wants to knock you off the path because they don't know no better.
That's why you have to blast in front of them, blow the doors off them, and lap them. That's how you win races.
It's so...
Yeah, the moral of the story is try sucking less, Brandon. Like, don't blame the AI for your ineptitude.
Oh, don't blame the AI that is purposely made to knock you off the road so you lose your lap time. Okay, I won't do that. and
real drivers do the same thing. They just knock you off the road.
Do the same. Yeah.
And I'm not even that, but like, if they were like, okay, you lose this lap time, I'd be like, alright, that's not too bad. But the stupid fucking penalty system is like, not only do you lose this lap time, but the next lap, which you haven't even started, yeah, that doesn't count. That's stupid.
I don't even pay attention
really
to that.
Fucking stupid.
You know what's actually funny is you're complaining about like getting knocked off the track. Most of the times I will drift to and I will get onto the grass on purpose and close that.
You don't
I don't
give
even
a
care
shit about the penalties and all that stuff.
I don't give a fuck. I'm just playing the game. I'm not trying to, I'm not taking it seriously. I'm just whatever. Fuck it. Shifter cards.
Mean, you don't have any choice but to get on the grass, honestly, because they fucking
The first race I did with shifter carts, I was like spinning everywhere, and it was like it was terrible. But then once I got the handle on it, like you can't just gas and go. You gotta variable speed. You gotta gas, brake, gas. Which is actually very accurate to the way a shifter cart handles. But after the first few races,
I've also gotten to real cars, like I was saying. I've raced real cars. It feels really fucking weird. And the first race they throw you into, you're against 30 people. So there are so many cars on screen. You just have so much fucking it's very overwhelming. And like the racetrack itself is very like narrow, very small. So you just have everyone being like, alright, excuse me, fucking getting hit and flying off.
To me though, I like having that many.
Just like spinning out, that sort of shit. And like any little bump in this game just sends you flying and just like, woo! Fucking spinning right round, baby, right round, like a record,
like
baby,
real life.
right round.
But no, I enjoyed the large amount of people because, like, all right, I know Mike especially can relate to this. When I pass all of you in Mario Kart, right, and I'm in first place, and like there's like a 30-minute gap between where I am and where Mike currently is, it's just not really fun.
And that's like, also not realistic, so I can see how that would happen.
but no, can you see like what I'm saying? Like, you ever play a racing game that was so easy, like to not only be in first but stay? Like, literally, I've played racing games where I was in first by such a distance that I could stop on the track for 5 minutes and still like come out in first.
That's not this game. That is,
which
not
is
this
good.
Game.
Which that's good because it should have a challenge. I shouldn't be able to just breeze through the game.
Challenge. Okay, all right. Have you adjusted the sensitivity on your thumbsticks or anything at all? Because I feel the sensitivity is way too fucking, like, it's way too sensitive when racing with a controller. Because it's like any little turn, and it's like, oh god, here I am, I'm in a wall now. Fuck this.
Let me ask you this. When you're coming up on turns, are you going full speed ahead, or are you braking?
Like you're supposed to. I am braking like you're supposed to. But a lot of the time, I brake, and it gives people behind me enough chance to catch up, and then they hit my fucking back end, and then it's like, oh yeah, I broke, I braked, and now I'm in that wall.
I
but
broke.
these motherfuckers didn't fucking brake.
That's like,
I
okay,
broked.
let's say you're coming up to like, I don't know, like a 40-degree turn, right?
Yeah.
You're approaching it.
Yeah.
Don't start braking at the entrance of it. Like, give yourself time to like not completely depress the brake, but just start like feathering it and like.
I know.
slow
Before
down,
you reach,
controlling your speed.
I've played racing games before. I don't think this game feels good as a game. I don't think this game feels good as a game.
I don't know.
As
I'm
as like a car buff like thing, and I understand that is totally what you are, and that is cool, and that is perfectly fine, and I'm not judging you or anything, but I don't think this is fun.
I think you're judging me.
No, I'm not. I just don't think this is fun.
I mean, Mike, I just
maybe
heard Brandon say
people-
I had shit taste. I don't understand.
No, I didn't say you had shit taste. I just think
don't
it's
worry
not
about it,
fun
Nick.
for the average person. Like, I don't think this game is fun for that kind of.
I mean, that goes with a lot of racing sims. Like, I don't think Gran Turismo 5 like
Gran
is
Turismo is
for
fun
the-
as hell. Like,
it's
I
not
love
fun
Gran
for
Turismo.
like anybody. It's like for everybody though. Like, if you're not hardcore in the racing sims, you will not enjoy Gran Turismo.
I can see that, but I feel that
Because I
like,
didn't enjoy Gran Turismo because I'm not into.
I
hardcore
feel that
racing.
like that simulation racer was easier to get into than this one. Like this
No.
one is like ridiculously
I'm
hard to
enjoying
get
this
into.
one a lot more than Gran. Like, I played Gran Turismo probably for like 5
But
minutes.
you only
and I was
played
like,
one
fuck
of them,
this.
right? Did you you only
I
played the one
played-
on PS3,
I played,
right?
Yeah, I played GT5.
Yeah, I played
Prologue,
them
and
like
regular.
from PSX all the way to like. I didn't play regular GT5 because I heard it was garbage. But I played all the way up to the prologue of GT5.
Yeah, and before like all those games,
I've played
Most of my-
every Forza game. I fucking love Forza.
most of my racing game experience was Forza, Need for Speed.
Forza's really good. Dirt's really good also. I love the Dirt.
Dirt's
series.
actually really good. I like doing the Gymkhana.
See,
Gymkhana.
that's another thing I can go to. I've played the new Dirt Rally game that recently came out, and it's a very simulation-heavy racing game as well. I feel that it, even as being super simulation, it still feels good as a game. As a game, I don't think Project
Dirt 3
Cars
was the
feels
first
good.
was the first in the series I played. And I thought Dirt 3 was amazing. I had a lot of fun playing it. I bought the complete.
Well, I know,
edition.
but those went very, like, Dirt 3, Dirt 2, those kind of started going in an arcadey-ish area.
Yeah.
And then they went straight up arcadey when they did the Demolition Derby one, which was fun, still. But, like, Dirt Rally is them going back to their roots, back to the old Dirt games, like the PS2 Colin McRae ones and everything. That's what Dirt Rally is. And that's super simulation heavy, and it's a lot of fun, and it feels like a video game, and also feels like, you know, I have to have some kind of knowledge, or I have to learn something if I'm going to actually get this working correctly. But this, it feels like if you don't already have that knowledge, if you aren't coming into this game with all of that knowledge, you're not gonna know what to do, and it's not gonna be fun as a video game. As maybe, like, a game for, like, supercar buffs or people that already have all that knowledge, it seems like it would be fantastic and right up their alley. But I feel like, you know, just people that don't know all that shit, that are just coming into this and looking at it as a game and wanting to learn how to play it and that sort of thing. Because, like, I mean, you can learn in games how to do things. It's not uncommon. But, like, this game, it feels like if you don't already have that knowledge, you're fucked. Like, from the get-go.
But, I mean, that's all a part of playing the game, is learning how to play it and learning how to play it correctly.
But it doesn't really teach you how to play it. It just kind of throws you in there as, like, here's a bunch of stuff that you can already tweak. Here's a bunch of stuff. Here's a bunch of numbers. Here's a bunch of info. You know, that sort of thing.
You know what game also threw you in without a clue? Dark Souls, and you enjoy that game. So
that's a different kind of thing. That's an RPG. That's an RPG.
I'm just saying.
That's an RPG.
I'm saying the whole purpose of playing any game and not
is
getting
to learn stuff.
Is to learn how to play it.
But those games teach
and I
you.
think
I haven't been taught a single thing on Project Cars.
A lot of people complain that they don't learn anything about the intro of Bloodborne or Dark Souls, those kind of games. Like, there's a lot to be
you
left
learn
to figure
through
out.
experiencing that, and also it does teach you along the way through in the way its gameplay is laid out.
The same
this
way,
doesn't tell you anything.
It's the same way with Project Cars. You play your first. Now listen, you play your first race, and you come up to your first turn, and you're going like 90, and then you're like, and then you crash, and then you realize,
never do that. That's
maybe
stupid.
I shouldn't
do that. That's not how that works.
No, but I'm just giving you an example of like what somebody could do.
Yeah, but
You know what I'm
I
saying?
think too, to be fair on this as well, like there is a lot to be said about the familiarity that people have with driving in general, which would, give you a lot more familiarity than you would say a game like Bloodborne or Dark Souls. Like you step into a car simulator and you have a general idea of how to drive a car, assuming you've driven one before.
Okay,
Yeah, I mean basically, but
I understand that. But what I'm saying
I just think there's a learning curve to this game, and maybe you're just not getting it right because maybe it just doesn't feel right to you, which is okay. I mean, obviously,
I'm getting first in most of the fucking races I've done. I'm just not having fun. It's just not enjoyable.
I can agree with that. Racing games, I don't have any enjoyment. The closest I get to racing is Mario Kart.
I really want to like this game. Like,
and F-Zero.
I want to love this game.
I like F-Zero too.
Because it is very well done. But I feel everything's very overwhelming, and I feel like the what you get for what you put into it is not enough to keep you coming back, like, at all. I mean, I don't think it's fun.
I mean, that's my
main point. I know you can like something and that I don't. That's perfectly fine.
No, I know.
It's called an opinion. Oh no!
I know.
I didn't know. I just wanted to clarify that I am not shitting on your opinion. You are more than welcome to like this game. I just don't see how someone that isn't super familiar with this sort of thing could ever get into this, because it's very, very overwhelming. So I was just trying to give a different view on the whole thing. No,
I know. I just think I think anybody can pick up this game and play. It's just a lot of trial and error and just figuring things out. But I mean, that's that's just my what I think of the game. So, but I was really pissed off though.
Mm-hmm.
I bought the game on release, and then a few days later there was a sale, and it was $37.
Dude, if you want a PC game, come to me. I have tons and tons of places where you can get them much cheaper. Like right now, I have a place where you can get Witcher 2 at this very moment for $43.
I don't play Witcher.
I know, but I'm just saying, that game came out 4 hours ago. It's $60 on Steam right now. I know where you can get it for $42 right now.
Fair enough.
If you want a PC game, come to me and I will point you in the right direction of where to go get one. And the site is legit, so there's no problem there. Anything. No, it's just they do a lot of 27, 30% off all the time, on the first day of release of the game. So you never have to pay full price when a game comes out.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, playing Project Cars. I'll probably play some more of it. It's a game that I'm just casually.
I'm still trying my hardest to enjoy the game because I was super fucking looking forward to this game. I really wanted to like it. And since it doesn't matter now, I actually played the alpha of this game originally. I thought the alpha felt better, in my opinion, than this does, the finished product. And I feel like the finished product is not held together well enough, the way the career is done. It's just kind of a series of oh, here's an email that you got. Good job on that last race. Yeah! And it's no actual interaction. It's just all you can do is read what they've said to you and that sort of thing. And it's here's a calendar. Select the date of the next race. Yeah! That sort of thing. And there's no actual real interaction there. In the Dirt games, you were able to go and find sponsors. You were able to talk with people. You were able to set up your sponsor's voice. You were able to set up the leveries. I can't remember what it's called, but the paint job on your car in general. And you were able to put the sponsors on there and all that good stuff. You were able to repaint it, respray it, decorate it, make it your own thing. You can't do any of that here. You can change the color, but you can't do anything to the car other than the actual inside bodyworks. The outside, you got nothing. It's just one solid color, that sort of thing. And it's not even oh, can I change this and put this here and then see how this... No, you can't even do that. It's all right, I'd like to change the exhaust, or I would like to change the fin or whatever on certain things. No, you none of that. I've found none of that anywhere in the game yet. So it feels weird.
Again, customization's on everything, to me at least anyways. But I don't know. Like I said, I'm enjoying it. I'm just gonna play it casually. It's not like a game I'm gonna hardcore I gotta get home and play Project Cars today. I don't really care about it that much.
I understand.
When I do play it, I have fun. It's just I'm not you know.
I don't
But
feel like there's a like valid goal, like, and the goal that there is, it's just I don't care. It's like I could just go to Quick Race and race anything I want. So why would I even play the career? Like, there's no point to it.
one,
I wish I had more to add other than heckling.
I appreciate the heckling.
I do too.
So yeah, other than that, would you want me to do the thing I want to say now, or do you want me to like wait, put that in the news?
What does it have to do with news?
It has to do with like information I got.
Oh, I mean, yeah, let's just do it now.
Just throw it out. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so randomly last week I'm at my job, I'm working, and I get a phone call from GameStop, and they're like, "Hey, a little bit of backstory on that. There was a GameStop in my mall that I reserved all the amiibos at. They closed down and sent my pre-orders to a satellite store that took over, whatever.
Uh-huh.
So they called me up and they're like, "Hey, did you get your Ike amiibo?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm good. I got it." And so then I asked the guy, I was like, "So what's the deal with like Wave 4? Any more pre-orders coming up? Am I boned at this point?" And he told me basically that like, yeah, you can't pre-order Wave 4 anymore from GameStop. But according to him, that by September, like every amiibo released to date will be in stock, and like you can get them.
I don't know. See,
I don't believe it for a second, but I mean,
yeah,
I've played the amiibo game, and I believe Mike has played really, really hardcore played the amiibo game. So
this is my thing on it. Like, so we did talk a couple weeks ago where Nintendo said like, "Hey guys, we're sorry that we are fucked this up so hardcore, and on top of it, we're completely oblivious to how much we fucked it up." But guess what? We do realize what's going on. And this last week, actually, too, I mean, I didn't put it in news, but I had considered it. They actually have been sending out those Marth reprints, which they promised twice over at this point. But also, I think the surprising thing is not only were Marth reprints going out, Meta Knight reprints were going out, Lucario reprints were going out, Ike reprints were going out. A lot of like the very hard to find amiibos.
Apparently those three are supposed to be at Toys R Us on the 29th, from what I've been hearing from people as well.
Well,
Lucario, Marth, and
Ike?
Yes.
Because Meta Knight is showing up in Meta Knight was Best Buy exclusive.
Yeah, but
that's been showing up in like their inventory systems, although as far as I know it hasn't reached stores yet. But as for like just walk in and pick them up off the shelf by September, I don't know. But the one thing that I do know from working at GameStop previously is that A, there are employees who just make up information for whatever reason. But also B, there are employees who know what they're doing and they get good intel from their like reps. So it's very possible that, that's something that he's heard from like a Nintendo rep, and it's like, hey, this is what our goal is, to make sure that these are all available. But at the same time, the scary thing is like there's so many different SKUs. I don't see how it's possible for them to have them all available, because by the time September rolls around, there's going to be like 50 different active amiibo SKUs.
I have a feeling it's more so going to be like they're going to have the most current wave and maybe the wave before that in store, and then the rest you can probably just order online, because like even if you go to GameStop now and they don't even have all of the Skylanders. Like the Skylander selection at a GameStop compared to like the Skylander selection at like a Toys R Us, oh my god, it destroys it. So it's like they don't have all these figures in store all the time. So I wouldn't be surprised if it was more of like a, hey, here's wave, I don't know, like 7 and 6, and then here's 5 through 1 online.
Yeah, and that would be nice. Like, even if it was, if they did have the ability, like, I wouldn't be surprised when Nintendo's just kind of testing the waters and sending out small batches and just seeing where, like, hey guys, you can keep on ordering them, we'll try to fulfill the demand, and then we'll just kind of stop once it tapers out.
I just want Ness. Can I have Ness? Is that possible? Please give me Ness.
No,
that one is still, at least from everything I've heard, like, that's just still impossible to find in stores. But that seems like another one that'd be incredibly likely to get, like, an incredibly likely candidate for a second run, because it just literally sold out off the shelves, like, instantly. So, yes. It didn't even make it to the shelves, to be fair. So, yeah, I mean, listen, everyone, no, but I do expect them to go back through and hit a lot of the ones that sold out instantly to kind of help satiate that demand. Apparently the Marth, I haven't like really looked into it, but apparently Marth is definitely lost his status as like the hardest to find amiibo. One of them, Little Mac's still pretty high up there, so that one should be likely for like a reprint. But we'll have to see. Like it's very interesting to see, and whether or not they can find the right balance to, like I said, this is the tricky part. They have to find the right balance to satiate the people that want to get it, but also not go so far that they absolutely just kill demand on it. So it's a very tricky spot that they're in right now, and I don't know how they're going to handle it well, because I just feel like it's just something they don't have enough expertise in to do right. So we'll see. It's going to be, like I said, it's a very precarious position they're in right now. So, yeah, I don't know. I do hope that they're easier to find, though, because I still don't have Jigglypuff locked down. That's the only one from this last wave, even though it's still not out yet. But we'll see. Maybe I'll end up going to Target early that day and trying to get one. I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's all I've got for this week.
All right.
Well, there you go.
So, Brandon, finish this out.
Yep, I guess I will. So, we already talked about Splatoon and Project Cars, and the only other game I played is Persona Q. Neither of you played Persona, so, I mean, this isn't going to be much for you guys. But, essentially, have any of you ever heard of Etrian Odyssey?
Yeah.
Have you ever played it?
No.
Do you know what the, like, general idea of it's about?
Yeah, basically.
Like, it's
Go
a
from
dungeon
point
crawler.
A to point B.
Yeah,
and
it's the dungeons are like randomly generated,
and you have
drop,
to like
a map.
You have to map. No, you don't get a map. You have to map them out.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You have to like draw a map.
Yeah.
That's what I said. Yeah.
So that's what this is. This is Etrian Odyssey crossed with Persona 3 and 4, and the way it works is like a kind of alternate reality where the games get skewed and combined together, and different characters have to work with different characters from the other side. And it's actually very well put together and very well done. And it's done in first person, kind of like a Dragon Quest, like RPG, that sort of thing. At least that's what I understand, because I've never played Dragon Quest myself. But it's a lot of fun. It's dungeon crawling like Etrian Odyssey with RPGs like Dragon Quest, that sort of thing. And obviously the Persona thing, where you're able to summon your personas that your characters have and build upon your personas and go and get new weapons, and it's a lot of fun. It is very talky, so it's been hard to play this, because it's like, do I have 2 hours right now? Do I have 2 hours? Yep, I guess I could start the game up. Because, like, literally some of the cutscenes are like 30 minutes, and like it's all
just
fully voice
shut
acted.
the lid, though, and just let it go into sleep mode.
True, but like, it's one of those things where it's very story heavy, and you kind of want to pay attention to it. So, there's that. But yeah, I'm really liking it so far. Like I was saying, I haven't gotten too far into it because of the very story-heavy aspects of the game. But the general gameplay is a lot of fun, and it's all the original characters from Persona 2, Persona 3 and 4. And Persona 3 is one of my favorite Personas, so yay! And that's what I've been playing.
Sounds fun.
It is a lot of fun. And it came with tarot cards.
What are they for? Are they like AR cards?
I think they're just collectible.
Yeah.
But they're cool. I like them. And they're, like, Persona themed, so I like them.
Okay. Sounds fun. You guys ready to move on to news?
Yes.
Sure. Here's the news that never news. It makes me want to news the news. Here's the news, and when the news comes, news.
News,
Oh,
yeah.
goody.
Are you guys ready for the E3 hype train?
Yo.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Yeah, well, it's coming. It is coming fast. I mean, we're less than a month away from E3 at this point. Everything's starting to get locked in. All the big conferences are locked in place now. We have Bethesda on Sunday. Monday, we have Xbox. We have EA with 2.5 hours of conference.
Oh my god.
It's way too fucking long.
How many
Hey, we're
sports
gonna get
games
some
do they
Star
have?
Wars.
It's
We're gonna get
probably
that
going to be
Star-
like 2 hours of Madden, and then 15 minutes of pre-release footage from like Mass Effect and Mirror's Edge. So,
Hey, more Mirror's Edge, too. I'm on board.
then we got Ubisoft and then PlayStation wrapping up, just like they has been in the last couple of years. Although the interesting thing was for Tuesday, and I don't know why I kept on forgetting to bring this up the last couple of weeks. A couple weeks ago, Square Enix announced that they were going to do a conference, and they stuck it right in Nintendo's traditional spot on Tuesday morning.
And they have said, fuck that now, and they've moved it.
Yeah, so Nintendo officially came out and locked in their E3 conference for Tuesday morning. And everyone's like, what are we going to do? They're both at the same time. And Square Enix cowered and rescheduled theirs an hour later. So it's still going to be funny because a lot of the news coverage is going to have to be split between, like, a lot of the editors won't be able to cover the Nintendo stuff and the Square Enix stuff. So they're going to have to split it up. I imagine that in most cases, that's usually what they would do anyways. But yeah, it's got to be funny for people who are there because they won't be able to probably watch the Nintendo conference and get to the Square Enix conference in time to do both. So, because they aren't that close together. I mean, you have a bunch of time in between, like, say, Microsoft and EA. So, for example, even Ubisoft and Sony usually have a good amount of time in between. So, those two are cutting it close. So, Nintendo really didn't say much about their E3, like, lineup. At least at this point. They did say that the NX won't be there, and they're still not planning on talking about Zelda. But they did announce that they're going to be bringing back...
They did also say that the NX is not a replacement for the Wii U recently. Well, so,
of course they're going to say that.
But I mean, it's not, right? Like
we don't know anything about it yet.
I didn't spend that money on a Wii U for nothing, did I?
You have more than one game for the Wii U, so I doubt you did it for nothing.
I have like 20.
Yeah.
So
it seems fine. But yeah, so they did announce that they're going to bring back the Nintendo World Championships.
Oh my god, they announced it in the best way ever.
It was interesting. I don't think this year's like promotional video was as good as last year's. Like, I loved the one that they had last year. This one was fun too.
Well, this one's still directed by Mega 64. You could tell the whole time. Like, yeah, it was good. I liked it.
And they did bring back like that whole joke with Bill Trinen, which I thought was really
You're
funny.
fired.
Well, there was that whole thing. So actually, it's funny because I was talking to a friend about it. He's just kind of like, I don't really understand who that guy was that got fired. And so I was like, okay, so let me take you back through a couple Nintendo Directs ago. Bill Trinen's like this guy who's works on localization for Nintendo games. He's also Miyamoto's interpreter on a lot of cases. So, you know, there's just kind of been this joking rivalry between him and Reggie in like the Nintendo Directs. And in one of them, he even goes, he was making fun of Reggie's Japanese and says, well, my job feels more secure now after hearing Reggie's Japanese. And so then you hear like the kid is like fluent in Japanese in the video, and so Reggie just walks up to Bill Trinen's like, "You're fired." So because the kid knows Japanese, you don't need him anymore.
It does. That was a funny video. I liked it.
Yeah, like I said, it was a good time. It'll be interesting to see what games they use for the Nintendo World Championship and what selection process are they using to get these people. I don't know. It'll be interesting.
It was also pretty hardcore bait and switch, because a lot of people were like, oh my god, new Punch-Out! Because of the way they, like, announced the video thing.
Yeah, it was like a picture of, like, Reggie in, like, a pink jumpsuit.
A pink jumpsuit with, like, the punch... Like, he just looked like Little Mac, more or less. And everyone was like, oh my god, new Punch-Out! And it's like, no, it's just Reggie fucking doing his training regiment.
Yeah, and they went through so many different games in Nintendo's history. Like, you couldn't even, like, fathom a guess as to what direction they're going with that. So.
I loved the track and field where he actually got down on his hands and knees and like hit the buttons with his hands.
That's how you do it. That's how we do. You
that was the best.
That's the way you do it. So yeah, it's great. They had a Virtual Boy in there. They played Donkey Kong Country. They punch out references. Like literally goes the whole 9 yards. So it'll be interesting to see what they do there. Also be interesting to see too if they release like a digital version of the World Championship too. I wouldn't be surprised if they did just kind of be like, hey, now that you saw what we did here, why don't you see how your score stacks up kind of thing. Because they did have the like Nintendo World Championship built into NES Remix 2, where you could go through and play like the original score attack for the games that were in there, which I think was, what was it, Mario 1, Dr. Mario, and Mario Brothers 3.
That's pretty cool, because I never played NES Remix 2, because I didn't like the first one.
The second one's way better.
I didn't like it because it felt like off, like it felt like it had input lag, and I didn't like it.
That's fair. So, yeah, so Nintendo, I think E3 is getting all on the hype train!
Yo.
Woo!
Yeah, so it's coming. It's coming like a hype train. Super excited. And like I said, we'll be doing like an E3 prediction episode soon.
I really liked the Virtual Boy part of the thing, because like as he was like playing it, he was like knocking shit off the table and everything.
That'd be awesome. They had a Virtual Boy section in the Nintendo
it was
World
so
Championship. Good. So moving on, June 4 will be for E3. Yeah, It's Doom.
There was a video of that today, actually. A 15-second video where it just shows like one of the enemies coming up to the screen, and you hear the music. It's like dun 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 dun, and then like it just flashes and says June 15th at 7 p.m. The world will be introduced to Doom 4.
Oh yeah, because it'll be at the Bethesda conference.
Is that before or after Fallout 4 gets shut off?
Well, we got to talk about Fallout 4, and let's do it now.
Not 15th.
Let's do that story right now. So this is a really funny one, I thought. So there was a trailer leaked for Fallout 4. Did you guys hear about this whole story?
I did not.
Wait,
Nor have I seen this trailer.
I know the credit. Like a guy who worked on it was leaked, but I didn't know the actual trailer was leaked.
Yeah, so I don't know if the trailer itself came out. Maybe it's just been like a story about it. I'm not quite sure. But so something from Fallout 4 leaked, and it was made by the CG studio. And so Destructoid went and reached out for comment to the CG studio. And the CG studio, usually you'll get we don't confirm, rumors or speculation. The CG studio went, that is NDA stuff. You need to take this down. And they were like, we didn't sign any NDAs. We didn't break anything. We're leaving this up. So they confirmed that it was real. So there's no beating around the bush at this point. Fallout 4 is confirmed from that. So.
But if it's NDA shit, then why did that guy put it on his fucking resume?
Yeah, exactly.
But I want to see it. Where can I see this? I want to see it.
You have to know that the game hasn't been released yet. So why would you put credits for something like that? I don't get that.
I know. A lot of times they'll usually put stuff unannounced project, but my guess is he left he left was my guess. Sorry, he left the place and just didn't care anymore. So I don't know.
This is true.
Oh, and you're right. Yeah. So the trailer itself didn't leak. It was just that someone was working on it, and so they asked him about the CV, and then that is how it leaked out.
Then what was the Del Toro thing coming from?
Del Toro, it's his studio, so it doesn't mean that he's necessarily working on it. It's just his CG studio that's doing it. So there you go. And like I said, that pretty much proves that Fallout 4 is in development, and I'm sure we'll hear about it at the Bethesda conference on June 14th. So,
I mean, I would like to see this trailer whenever it exists, because fuck.
Yeah, so like I said, trailer not leaked, just the fact that it exists leaked. And that was
I think we all know that if it didn't exist, everyone would be so angry that there'd be such a big fuss.
I mean, who knows? Maybe Bethesda will be like, who was it that did this? It was Quentin Tarantino, where that one script for that movie he was working on leaked, and it's just well, fuck it, I'm not making it now.
And then he made it, and it's coming out this Christmas.
He completely rewrote the script.
Yeah.
So maybe that's what Bethesda will do. Be like, fuck it, we're not doing this anymore. You spoiled everything. So there you go. So that's interesting. So look forward to Fallout 4 and Doom 4 at the
2 4s. Look forward to the 2 4s
on the 14th. Third one.
Oh. Too bad they didn't announce this 2014, or else it would have been perfect.
I know. Well, maybe it'll come out.
I told
April 4th.
To my friend, all they have to do is Todd Howard just has to kind of just briskly walk out on stage, not say anything, just hold up 4 fingers and then walk out, and that'll be enough.
That's it.
That's the entire conference. That'd be great. So next up on news, Konami CEO: the future is mobile.
Of fucking course it is.
I had told you guys this when we talked about it. I was like, that's where all the Japanese developers are heading. And guess what? That's
Konami can eat the biggest sack of dicks.
That is where Konami's future gaming division is headed to. And like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if that's where their Fallout, no pun intended, with Metal Gear.
That's where Konami will die. That's just that's how it is. Also, still in the Del Toro thing, the CG thing, going back to what he said recently, there was apparently an interview where he said that the Silent Hills approach was going to be, he already knew that they were going to approach it in a sort of scorched earth approach, which was basically burn the entire thing to the ground. Don't ever let any form of this ever existing, stay alive, make it through the whole purging. So, I mean, they could be going further with that. And he also officially stated that it was a shame that, the falling out of Kojima and Konami is what caused this project to be shit-canned, basically. Mm-hmm. So, that was said in a recent interview. Like, very recent. Like, yesterday, I believe.
Yeah, I did see something recent up on IGN. So maybe that's where that was?
Possible.
Yeah. So, alright. Anyways. Yeah, so look forward to Metal Gear Mobile coming soon. Also, leaks. Gears of War remake.
Gears of War. Oh, man. Dude, this is probably one of the coolest leaks ever because of what they fucking are doing to people.
So, basically, the worst kept secret for E3 was that a Gears of War remake was coming. Everyone saw this coming. We've talked about it on the podcast weeks ago. It seems like, I think the surprising thing is that it seems like it's just a remake of the first game.
But the first one was one of the best.
It's one of the best, but it seems like they could have done better with like some sort of collection instead of just a single game. I think a lot of people would be hard pressed to pay $60 for a Gears of War remake.
Oh, they wouldn't still pay for it.
I don't know. We'll see. I mean, like you look at something like the Halo Master Chief Collection, which is great value. It's like 5 games in one, and then you look at like the Gears of War remake, and you're just like, why would I pay that much for one Xbox 360 game up-res? I don't know. Maybe that's just me. I don't know. I might be in the minority here, but yes. So worst kept secret ever, and now even less so since beta testers decided to leak multiplayer footage to the world. So. So now it's officially out there. And so Microsoft did what all good companies would do and bricked the Xboxes of the beta testers. So,
of course.
Yeah. Honestly, though, I know some people are really upset about them doing that. I honestly am surprised that people are upset that they did this. Microsoft really had no chance, or no choice in this. People signed contracts not to leak this information. They had to stop them from doing it, and the best way to do it is stop their Xboxes. So, if that is the worst that these people get, then they're incredibly lucky because they probably could have ended up with litigation if that's not already on the way. So, I don't know. Do you guys think your consoles are safe? Do you think that should have happened?
I mean,
personally, I think it's going a bit too far.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a remake of a game. Like, why are you gonna brick my $500 system just because?
I mean, like, if it was like a new Gears of War and they were like releasing like footage of like the single player or spoiling stuff, then like I guess I could understand it. But like beta footage gets leaked all the goddamn time. Betas in general get leaked all the time, and they don't take the action of fucking destroying your console that you've spent money on. Or worse, these actually only work on developer consoles. These betas are only for developer consoles. That's how they're able to brick them. These are things that they're not going to be able to get back. These are things that they're not going to be... Like, this is going to destroy their entire standing with Microsoft, like, period.
Well, exactly. I mean, they had...
And, I mean, I understand, yeah, that's definitely the point, but, like, it makes you think, like, oh, I mean... This isn't going to happen to any of us for something at some point, is it? For something stupid.
Yeah, but, like, the big difference is, though, these people signed a contract.
Yeah, I understand that.
Like, it doesn't matter if it's the oldest game in the world. They signed a contract not to leak any information.
This is true.
Yeah, people also signed a contract not to leak any information about Elder Scrolls Online, and there were plenty of people that did, and their computers didn't get bricked. They didn't have their accounts deleted. They didn't have any of that stuff.
But that's
I think different. It's going a bit overboard.
But in the case with the Elder Scrolls Online, like, beta test, the game was publicly announced. Like, people already knew about that game at this point. This is a game that wasn't announced.
Footage.
And leaking this, like, confirmed it. Like, it basically...
But it's online footage, and I even just looked it up. The footage is fucking nothing. It's just someone playing an online game. I mean, it doesn't even look... that good, honestly.
But
that may be the actual reason. They don't want people seeing how shit it looks, because it looks shit. Not gonna lie.
But like I said, the big thing is, like, this is like a tentpole that was kicked out from underneath their E3 conference, basically.
I mean,
now when they're like, Gears of War is coming, everyone's gonna be like, we fucking know. This was leaked 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Like, you don't want to go to E3, like, what was it, 2 years ago or so? No, it wasn't 2 years ago. I don't know.
Yeah.
Not that long ago, I remember Sony had like an incredibly disappointing conference because everyone knew everything that Sony was going to announce. And they're just like, okay, we knew that this was coming. We knew that you were going to do this. We knew that you were going to do that. And so, like, when it came around down to it, like, nobody cared about it. So Microsoft has the same thing that happened. Like, these things are, like, they're important to momentum and building up demand and excitement. And like I said, you don't want that excitement deflated before you even get a chance to unveil it. So that's why I think this is different than, say, like, the Elder Scrolls Online beta. It'd be one thing if it was before the game was announced and everyone was like, oh my god, Elder Scrolls is going to be online, it's going to be so great. But now it's just like, Gears of War for Xbox One, oh.
I mean, and online, though, I mean, like I was saying, if it was single player and, like, if they had added new stuff to it and that sort of thing, like, other than just up-resing it, yeah, completely understand. But, like, I mean, bricking consoles is pretty not cool. It's just not cool. Remove their ability to play online.
Well, how about this,
like,
then,
do
Brandon?
something like that.
How
but,
about they don't brick their consoles? How about they just sue them instead?
Yeah, there you go. That's
going to cost way more than the Xbox One.
I know, but that signed a contract. They signed a contract. Yeah, they've breached the contract. Yeah, they should be sued.
But part of the contract said that they could brick their consoles. Like, it's not.
Is that part of the contract?
It was
is that
part
literally
of the contract.
in the contract?
It was in the contract.
If that is in the contract and they signed it, then I mean that's their own damn fault.
Yeah.
But if it wasn't in contract, that's where I was sitting. Yeah. Since it was literally in the contract,
my understanding was that it was in the contract.
Yeah, you're a fucking idiot. Then you've signed that.
And like I said, like they ended up. If that's the worst that happens to them, then they're doing pretty fucking well. So, because having Microsoft's lawyers come after you for leaking something that theoretically they could pose like hundreds of thousands of dollars of losses theoretically at these people. Like I think I would take $500. And actually, what you can get? I saw there was a sale for $300 the other day. So whatever. Anyways, moving on. Dragon Quest VIII's coming to the 3DS.
Yeah. In Japan.
In Japan. They also got 7, but everyone wants 8. Apparently, I haven't played a lot of Dragon Quest games.
Apparently the best one, and it's what everyone tells me to play, but I can't play it. I don't have PS2 that I could play it on, and I don't have a place where I could actually get the game in working condition to even play. It's on mobile also, but I don't want to play a Dragon Quest game on mobile.
Yeah.
Plus, it's expensive on mobile.
I was just thinking the other day that, like, I really wish that I had given another Dragon Quest game a fair shot. The only one I've owned is 9. And that one didn't really have, like...
Is that the DS one?
It was the DS one. Like, the original one for the DS. But didn't really have, like, a grandiose story because it was, like, a create-your-own-character kind of game.
Yeah.
So the story was kind of, like, a bit flimsy.
8 apparently is one of the best ones ever, so there's that.
But 9 was really cool from what I remember about it. It had some neat features in it. It's just, I don't know, I'd rather play one that just kind of, like, strong narratively to kind of get me to play it. I did pick up 4, but I've had no interest in playing it, so. One of these days, listen, I would like to join the ranks in Dragon Quest. Also, up there, Igarashi joined Kickstarter and put up Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, which is...
And it was funded in 15 minutes.
Did not take long. I think it was over $1 million in like 4 hours or something.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
So, that's the Castlevania spiritual successor that everyone's been clamoring for. Just again, another great sign of these former big developers going to their fans and asking for money and raking in the glory. So, that's exciting. I wish him the best of luck. I don't know if I'll play it because I owned all 3 of his DS games and I never finished one of them. So that's all the news that I had down. Brandon, I don't know what your Rock Band 4 info is.
There was an hour long live stream showing off Rock Band 4 this week. I watched the entire thing, so I can give you guys a few little tidbits of info on it.
Sure.
So in Rock Band 3, 2, and 1, whenever people wanted to change difficulties, you had to back out of the actual game, or like you just had to like stop the song, go change the song out, and all that. Each player in Rock Band 4 can change difficulty on the fly in the middle of the song.
Fucking tastic.
Not only that, but to make it so you also don't have to go back to the song list, there are votes that come up during the breaks of each individual song. Each song has a different break for each part of the band. And each bandmate gets a vote on, like, I would like to play an 80s song next, or I would like to play a metal song next, or I would like to play something that's hard on vocals next, or something like that. And that's the general, like, categories, but sometimes they'll give you specific songs as well.
So basically you vote on categories and then it will pick a song?
Yeah, depending on which one gets the most votes, it'll pick a song from that category.
Are these songs you've already pre-selected, or is it just based off the whole game?
This is based off the entire game, including your DLC.
Oh, that kind of sucks, actually, then.
Yeah, I understand. If you have a shit ton of DLC, it's kind of bad.
Well, the thing with Rock Band is, for me, like, I don't know how it is for you guys, but I always feel like when we play Rock Band, you have to cater to whoever's singing, because if they end up with a song that they don't know, that really fucking sucks.
Well, no, I made my friends sing all the metal songs in Rock Band 2 and 3.
That's another part, also. Mm-hmm. In Rock Band 4, there is basically, you know how you could sound like you could not know the song and someone would sing it and they wouldn't have the melody correctly, and because of that they wouldn't get points? Well, there's a mode for the singer now where, like, if you're getting the lyrics correct and you're getting the pitch in the right area and everything, you don't have to have the exact melody. So you can make the song your own, and you can do, like, covers of songs in your own style, just as long as you're getting the melody, the pitch and everything correct as the singer. So you don't have to know the song, you just have to know, like, a specific pitch and, like, follow what it's showing for the, like, vocal thing. Like, you know how it gives you, like, the upper pitch or lower pitch or middle and that sort of thing. As long as you can keep the, like, arrow in that area, there's a mode for a singer where they can sing it any way they want. To the point where people actually sung, oh my goodness, what was it? They sung one of the new songs which was announced, which was Hell to the King by Avenged Sevenfold, which was the most requested song for Rock Band 4. That was already put in Rock Band 4 now. It's already there. It's already happening. That song, if you sing it to the tune of Enter Sandman, you will actually still do perfectly fine. It's that sort of thing. Like, you could sing the song any way you want in, like, that mode. That's at the beginning of every song now, whenever you're doing a band set list, which is the set list style that I was telling you about, where you vote on songs in the middle of it, and you can do the encore and all that stuff, because this is a mode. It's more or less an endless song mode, so you don't have to ever exit out, ever do any of that stuff. So it's just, like, for, like, I guess parties or gatherings, that sort of thing, so everyone can feel like they have a fair thing in it. And when you're playing that mode, you can just continuously play forever. You never have to stop. You never have to turn it off. So, like, people can just rotate in and out and that sort of thing. But eventually, like, after, like, the 6th or 7th song, you can be like, I want to play an encore, or let's end this now. And then you can just go back and play it in normal mode. Because those normal modes are still there. This is just another mode that you can play. This is just another way of playing the game. They said that Rock Band 4 will be a platform and not, like, something where they're going to release Rock Band 5, Rock Band 6 after a few years or something like that. Yeah. Like, this is the one they're going to release for next-gen consoles.
That makes sense. That's kind of what they tried to do with Rock Band 3, but it was, like, too late at that point.
Yeah, and they're just going to build onto it through the store, through the through, like, having weekly events where it's like, this week the event is for 80 songs. So, like, you can play and, like, see if you can get the high score with your band in this event, that sort of thing. And then they also stated, oh goodness, there was so much stuff. At the beginning of songs, they showed that, like, you can address the audience. So, like, you could say whatever you want to the audience, and they'll, like, react. Like, they said, we're not going the Guitar Hero route. We're not going to have them where they ever just straight up boo you and tell you suck, because that's not fun. But they said, like, you can interact with the audience, and the audience will sing along again now with songs if you're doing well. So they brought that back. The audience will sing along with songs, because that wasn't in Rock Band 3. That was taken out after Rock Band 2. But it's back now. They showed off the legacy instruments, which is the old past instruments working on the new consoles. they were playing with PlayStation 3 instruments on the PlayStation 4. No problem whatsoever. This thing worked perfectly. They also showed off one of the new guitars, which it looks exactly like the old guitars. They said it just has better syncing quality, so like it's easier to like auto sync like video and audio, that sort of thing, than the last guitars were. And it's got like some kind of new technology inside of it that makes it feel better just in general. But like from a like painting and design standard, it's the same thing, more or less. They showed that there are 2 types of drum fills that you can play. Depending on the song type, the drum fills are tailored to that song, but you can also turn it off and just make your own drum fills up. But they actually have like different piles of drum fills, so it's like you're playing a metal song. It's like, this is the kind of drum fill that you would hear in a metal song. So like, it'll give you notes inside the drum fill that if you play them, you get more points. And it will just sound better in general in the actual song. But you can turn that off. They basically said everything's about options. You have the options of playing these new ways. You have the options of doing this. But it won't hinder you, and it won't give you a boost. It won't make you better than everyone else or anything like that. Including the like changing the difficulty on the fly. That stuff will not like affect the score. Like, you can't be like, oh, I'm playing expert, oh, I'm doing really poorly, but I got some notes there, so let's go down to hard, and then let's just completely destroy it, and since I got those expert notes, then it'll go into my score, and I'll make it look like I did really well. That shit won't work. But you can't game the system, more or less. And they also announced that this upcoming week on IGN, they're going to show off the single player, which they are calling a band RPG. So
that's neat.
That sounds kind of cool. And they had the ideas of like when they do the online events and like the dailies, weeklies, that sort of thing, going to like popular venues and playing like the songs that would be at those venues, like going to Woodstock and playing like hippie music kind of stuff at that venue as like a set list for like this certain week, and maybe having it on like the anniversary of like Woodstock or something like that. So they had a lot of neat ideas. It's not concrete, but they did show the difficulty thing already. They did show the drum fills. They did show the adjusting the audience. They did show all of that. That was all already a thing that exists in the game. And they announced 6 songs. I can't remember all 6 of them. One of them is Little Miss by the Spin Doctors. One of them is Avenged Sevenfold, Hail to the King.
Somebody Told Me by the Killers, I think.
Somebody Told Me by the Killers, which is great. Yeah, tons of fun. There was The Seeker by The Who, and they showed off quite a few things. All right, so Fleetwood Mac, You Make Loving Fun, and Jack White, Lazarito. Those are the other 2 songs that I had forgotten about.
Is that a Dorito flavor?
No. So yeah, they're wanting to make the whole game about like options and that sort of thing, and the backwards compatibility will be through I think through some kind of like dongle that you'll be able to use to sync your old controllers to the new systems and that sort of thing. So that's kind of cute. That's kind of cool. I like it. I like it a lot. Very excited to play this game, and it looked like a fuck ton of fun. Like, the IGN staff that were doing the stream, they were like, can we keep this? And like the Rock Band person that was there on behalf of them was like, if you can give me a copy of Witcher 3, I'll do it. And they were like, fuck yeah, we got a ton in the back. You can have one. We're getting the better end of the deal. Get him a copy of Witcher 3 right now. But yeah, it looked like so much fun. It looked like, I'm excited. I'm super excited for that now. The DLC is carrying over. They announced that already, but they officially like super confirmed it there because they were actually playing some DLC tracks on the new Rock Band 4 even, and that was really cool. That's really neat. Yeah, I'm super excited for this.
Yeah, Maybe someday too. So, I don't know. That's all our news. Do you guys have
I gotta buy an Xbox One. That upsets me, but fuck it.
Do you guys have anything else to talk about before we wrap up?
Nope, I'm good.
Nope, I'm good.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for listening to us this week. Don't forget, you can download our episodes on iTunes, on Stitcher, or from the website doublegaming.com. You can also check out them on YouTube. Don't forget to leave us a review, share the podcast with your friends, make us a drinking game, whatever you feel like to, I don't know, meet your fancy and help spread the word. We always appreciate it. Also, you can find us on Facebook or on Twitter at GMECRUNCH. Brandon, do you have anything to send out on?
Nope. Can I have Rock Band 4 now?
Yeah. You just have to break into IGN and steal it from them. But it only will have 6 songs.
That's fine. I'll do that now. BRB.
Nick, how about you?
Nope.
All right. Well, then with that said, my name is Mike Anastasia. Thank you for listening to us this week. And until next week, game on!
Game out. I'm very tempted, since I'm mailing Brandon at Secret Wars number 0, to go to
You're gonna mail me a peach?
No, not a real peach, because that would just be torture. I'm gonna go to like Michael's or something and get like a bunch of fake fruit, mainly peaches, and just kind of.
I would not even be mad. In fact, I'd find it hilarious.
I mean, if I put real peaches in there, that would ruin the comic book, that would ruin the box, the mailman would deliver it, he's like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
This could give you a assortment of peach things. Fake peach, James and the Giant Peach.
Oh my god, I love that movie.
A recipe for peach cobbler. Peach shit.